The building behind me is the home of ICON Yachts. An extraordinary group of individuals work here in an extraordinary industry, building some extraordinary yachts. You see, ordinary yacht builders produce a range of yachts working from a blank sheet of paper and developing the project over a series of years. And don't get me wrong, ICON can do that too, and they do it tremendously well. But it's not that makes them extraordinary. What makes them extraordinary is that the management of ICON are people who think outside of the box. They recognise that actually the world is full of robust, seaworthy commercial vessels that would make wonderful super yachts if a company existed that could repurpose them, re-engineer them, refit them for use in the highest possible of luxury arenas. In 2015, they launched a 77-metre vessel that was a former Dutch-built Soviet icebreaker, and through diligent research, advanced engineering, and using some highly skilled craftsmen, they converted it into this magnificent explorer super yacht that soon became one of the most popular charter yachts on the planet. And it's easy to see why. Clearly, the bones of the yacht were incredibly strong enough in fact to break through ice and to go just about anywhere. But now guests on board could benefit from sumptuous surroundings, elegant decor, and a level of quality that can only be found on the world's most elite super yachts. Legend, for me, is one of the finest examples of one of the many vessels that ICON have either constructed from scratch or lovingly converted from an existing donor vessel. But we're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about the future, and specifically two yachts that ICON have in construction that are unlike anything you've seen before. The ICON280 is a great example of how exceptionally talented individuals and companies can work together on a new construction project. ICON engaged the world-renowned naval architect Vanu Sanan to design a hull that would be tremendously efficient, incorporating this distinctive bulbous bow, a helipad, and a 7-metre infinity pool at the stern. The British designer and living legend Tim Hayward was retained for the exterior design of the vessel, and a project was born that promises to become a delightfully elegant and exquisitely proportioned piece of yachting architecture. Throughout the design and engineering phase of this construction, constant communication was essential between all of the parties. An example of this can be seen where the aft deck swimming pool is concerned. Whilst this is a beautiful feature to have on board the yacht, and owners and guests will love it and use it, from a purely technical point of view, this is like adding a 30,000 litre tank to the yacht. All of this can considerably affect the stability of a yacht, and so all the information had to be fed to naval architects Vanu Sanan so that they could include it in the stability calculations of their hull design. This kind of study is essential, especially when a yacht is being built to be certified by the internationally respected Lloyd's Registry. This yacht is a testimony not just to ICON's ability in large yacht construction, but also to their financial muscle and stability as a company. You see, when an ultra high net worth individual decides that the time has come to make a purchase of a yacht the size of this, they'd rather take delivery and start cruising sooner rather than later. Nobody wants to wait 4 or 5 years. Recognising that, ICON and a group of investors have financed the construction of this yacht and are in a position to see it through to completion. Now just think what that means for a potential buyer. Now there's something that a buyer can come and see, touch and feel, get a sense for the spaces that are available on board, and when he makes the decision to buy, he only has to wait a couple of years for the delivery, and he can enjoy the sense of excitement as he sees it develop and grow. By the way, that's something that you also will have the opportunity to do, because I'll be back here visiting periodically to report back to you on how the construction progresses. Right now though, I'm standing in what will be the master stateroom. Now the owner's quarters occupy a whopping 126 square meters, and they have these beautiful 270-degree panoramic windows. One day, somebody will be looking out of those windows enjoying a sunrise in New Caledonia or the night lights of Monaco. Right now though, I'm looking at something altogether more interesting. In my opinion, Ragnar is one of the most striking looking yachts in production in the world today, and she certainly has one of the most interesting stories behind her. The donor vessel behind this extreme makeover project was actually a multi-purpose support and supply vessel with an ice-breaking hull. This sort of vessel may be used to supply and support oil and gas fields in the Arctic, a rugged, robust, go-anywhere ship built to be tough, but not necessarily to be strikingly attractive. Enter award-winning design team Redmond Whiteley Dixon. The RWT team looked at the existing vessel, listened attentively to the wishes of the client, and together with the ICON team came up with this supremely unique masterpiece of yachting architecture and design. I could talk for hours about the medieval war heritage that inspired the design of the yacht, and I think that influence is very clear just looking at the forward superstructure. But that is something we shall be delving into in more detail in future videos. For now, I want to focus on the fact that this will be one of the very, very few super yachts in the world that shall have a certified Ice Class A1 super hull. Now this is not just a question of having a very strong hull. It's pointless being able to cut through ice at the front of the yacht if huge pieces that break away then hit the propellers at the back and cause damage. So, in order to qualify for this certification, Ragnar is equipped with unique Ice Class PC5 rated electric driven ice pods. Every aspect of this vessel has been researched and thought out with the clear objective of creating something that not just looks tough, but that is tough and practical too, allowing the owner to fulfill his personal dreams in supreme comfort and safety. Ragnar, with that name and this design, built in this shipyard, she promises to go down in the annals of yachting history.
She's distinctively recognizable, very, very functional, and of course built to a high standard of excellence, to a very clear design brief. I'm so excited at the opportunity of documenting the construction of these two yachts for this YouTube channel. There's so much information to feed back to you, and so many questions to be asked as well. I can see, for example, the benefits of using a donor vessel because it reduces the time of construction. It also reduces the cost to a certain extent. But what about issues such as noise and vibration, something that differentiates a super yacht from, say, a supply vessel? How do the shipyard cope with that particular problem? And how do ICON go about selecting appropriate donor vessels to use? And what about the designers? How do the designers feel about designing a yacht that's actually already being built? All of those questions we'll be asking in future videos. And of course, if you as a viewer have questions that you'd like to ask, do feel free to leave them in the comments section below.